Yeah,
Oh
come on
yeah.
back. Come on back.
Come on back here. Come on back,
Did
yeah.
you miss me?
Did you miss me?
The Varnell
Let's
man
go.
can.
The boy now man can. Shaboing boy.
Can. Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
do it.
do
Let's
it.
do it. Coming to you live from the Sit Your Ass Down studios. Welcome to the Me and D
Pops and Son.
podcast.
For that ass.
For that ass.
For that ass. No Diddy.
For that ass. No Diddy.
No
No
Diddy,
doubt.
especially. no Diddy.
No baby oil, no Diddy, no nothing.
Baby oil, no nothing.
Today is May 25th, 2025. We thank you so much for listening to us, watching us, however you chill with us. We appreciate it. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Let's not forget to remember those who served and gave their lives for our freedoms. And as Charles Barkley says, today is about Pacers and Racers. Racers and Pacers, because you got the Indianapolis 500, and then you got the Indiana Pacers playing tonight.
And Pacers.
So it's about Racers and Pacers.
Racers
this used
and
to be
Pacers.
a big day when we lived in Indy. We would have the Indianapolis 500.
That 500.
And if the Pacers so happened to make the playoffs, it was a big day in the Nap City. Rest in peace to George Wendt, actor famous for his role Norm on Cheers. Yeah. Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay passed away. That was a big shock.
That was crazy.
Surprise. We'll talk more about him and them later on.
That was crazy.
The Orioles press box namesake Jim Henneman, longtime official scorer and beat writer, passed away. Dave Shapiro, groundbreaking music executive. He was one of the people that died in that plane crash in San Diego the other day.
Damn.
So, that's
terrible.
That was terrible. Gadi Kinda, it might be Gadi Kinda, Gadi, Gadi Kinda, played pro soccer in Israel and for Sporting KC. Dies at the age of 31 of an undisclosed condition. Yeah.
Damn.
To Larry Demerit, trainer who realized his dream of running a horse in the Kentucky Derby, passed away at age of 75. Italian boxing champion Nino Benvenuti. Benvenuti. I don't know where I messed that up. Nino Benvenuti took gold at the Rome Olympics, passed away at the age of 87. And then to female boxer Georgia O'Connor, passed away at the age of 25. This goes to
25?
Show. Yeah, you don't have to be 90 and 100.
Right. I heard 25 and 31.
25 and 31.
That's crazy.
Rest in peace to all those folks.
Rest in peace to everybody, yeah.
Birthdays that we celebrate today, May 25th. Hall of Fame linebacker Brian Urlacher. Played for the Bears. Yep. Kendall Gill, NBA guard and forward. To Ruthie Bolton, American basketball guard. She won Olympic gold in 1996 at the Atlanta Olympic Games.
Yeah, ATL.
Tariq Glenn, American football offensive tackle. Won a Super Bowl in 2006. Celebrates a birthday. The actress Connie Selica. Country singer Jesse Coulter celebrates a birthday. Actor, singer Leslie Uggams turns 82 today.
Uggams? You got some Uggams on.
You got them Uggams on.
Now I got these Walmart.
You got them Uggams.
These Uggams. These from Walmart.
Tyrone Biggums. Uggams.
Right.
Uggams. To Patty Durbinville, played on New York Undercover. She celebrates a birthday. And rapper Daz Dillinger of the Dog Pound is 52.
Damn, Daz.
Daz is 52. Daz is getting on up there.
Yep.
Little history on today. In 2014, in the Senior PGA Championship, Colin Montgomery of Scotland wins his first of 3 Champions Tour majors by 4 strokes over Tom Watson. In 2008, there were 7 crashes and spinouts in the first Indianapolis 500 since the 2 open wheel series between kart and IRL came together under the IndyCar banner. Scott Dixon stays ahead of the trouble to win the race. In 2003, Julie Inkster shoots a 10 under 62, tying the lowest final round score by a winner in LPGA Tour history.
Okay.
She beat Lori Kane by 4 strokes in the LPGA Corning Classic. 1991, the Pittsburgh Penguins, led by Super Mario Lemieux, win the Stanley Cup for the first time with an 8-0 rout of the Minnesota North Stars.
8-0 rout.
An 8-0 rout. In 1980, Johnny Rutherford, he was one of my favorite racers, wins his third Indianapolis 500 in 7 years and becomes the first driver to win twice from the pole position. In 1965, Muhammad Ali knocks out Sonny Liston a minute into the first round in the controversial rematch for Ali's heavyweight title.
Got him out of there.
Listed as the fastest knockout in a heavyweight title bout.
Got him out of there.
Liston goes down on a short right-hand punch, 1951, New York Giant Willie Mays in his first major league game. He went 0 for 5. 1935, Babe Ruth hits his last 3 home runs in Pittsburgh. The Boston Braves lost 11-7 to the Pirates. And in 1935, legendary American athlete Jesse Owens equals or breaks 4 world records in 45 minutes at a Big Ten meet at Ferry Field in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's remembered as the greatest 45 minutes ever in sports. So that's a little rest in peace, some history, some birthdays,
and some birthdays
all wrapped up in one. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You know, you like that.
Welcome back.
Your boy Mace.
The boy Mace. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Ronald Acuna Jr.
Man,
he
welcome
comes back in style.
Welcome back.
2 games, 2 home runs.
Man.
Hopefully that'll be what jumpstarts the Atlanta Braves, who are now 25-26. 8 games behind Philadelphia, currently in the NL East. So welcome back, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Back. We need him back. He's the spark. You can't that centerpiece as far as just like the leader. Oh, product placement. Hold on, let's see.
You can't beat him. Join
him. That MPG, mango, pineapple, guava.
Man.
First thing in the morning. Woo.
Gotta have it, man.
Get you right. Good energy, cognitive focus. We locked in, baby.
And it tastes great. That's
tastes
the other
great
thing.
too. And the flavors
taste great.
I be forgetting it's an energy drink. I'm like, this is
there's
sparkling energy.
Times when I want one in the evening, I'm like, you can't do that, buddy, if you want to sleep tonight.
Right. If you want to, you could be up just editing and doing some stuff.
Right.
But right. Yeah, I watched all the Godfathers last night.
Looking for somebody's game.
You didn't watch all the Godfathers?
All the Godfathers.
All of them. Damn. But yeah, no.
All
welcome
12
back,
hours worth.
Right.
I don't know. I just noticed some long
that's
ass
some long
movies,
bro.
but they are good.
Ass movies. But yeah, welcome back, Ronald Acuna Jr. That's what we needed. Like you said, hopefully this is a spark for us, but he came back, set the tone right there, hitting homers.
Yep.
Let's do it. Let's go. Welcome
and
back.
Looks like they're putting some wins on the board as well.
We
that's
need them.
Very helpful.
Those hits, man, those what they say are contagious. You see someone hitting some home runs, it gives that little bit more emphasis to the rest of the team. Like, okay, let me try to go to hit a home run. So maybe we can get our hitting back. So let's go.
And you're only 8 games back. It's still early in the season. We're going to hit June as of next week. There's still a lot of games to be played.
I mean,
about if I look at it, I don't feel like doing math this early, but it's like 51 games into it. Yeah, it's 51
Roughly,
games.
We do estimate.
Yeah, it is. It's 51 games. So you still got 110, 112 games left. And if Ronald stays healthy, I see the Braves in the playoffs.
We just need health.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth.
You got my attention. Happenings in and around college sports, D. I was excited to see this one because the bowl committee listened to us. They took our advice. The changes to the upcoming 2025 college playoff series are underway with a new seeding model set to debut this fall.
Okay.
First round buys will remain, but they will now go to the selection committee's top 4 seeds, independent of conference championship. So Boise State, they wouldn't be hosting a first round game like they did this past season. It would go to those first 4 teams. They get the host and they get a bye. Like I said, it wasn't fair for Boise State, which wasn't one of the best teams in the selection. It was stupid. They seeded them, and then they went away from the seeding. It didn't make sense. The two didn't coexist. They didn't line up. If you have the top 12, this is your top 12, and this is how it should be. It should be this is your top 12 and but because the number 9th seeded team won a championship,
won their conference
championship, they're going to get to host a playoff game. That just didn't make much sense to me. So I'm glad they got it right, though.
Yeah, for sure. And then we were talking about that, but I'm liking the college football playoffs, just the way it's at and the way it's been happening. We get to see anything happen. We can see the upsets. I think last season's college football playoff turned out real good. We end up getting the best teams in college football. So they just tweaking it, getting it right. But that sounds about right there. I'm glad they realized that and made that adjustment. So
we'll see. It just didn't make sense how they were doing it. And now I like the fact that they did listen. That was, I think, one of the only changes that we thought should happen. I'm not for expansion, but it sounds like this is going to be the last year of the 12-team playoff. It's going to go to either 14 or 16 teams.
That's too many teams.
Year. That's too many teams.
12 is cool.
I still say it should be 8. But if you got to have a few extra just to add a little spice to the bowl season,
maybe they can get a Cinderella in there type deal. You know what I'm saying? Or you might have a really good year that year of some teams who are like only 1 loss, 2 losses. There's some teams who are still undefeated, but they're in a weaker conference per se, but they're still under something like that.
Deserve a little notoriety,
right? You get
see if they're for real,
right? Yeah, you get a little open the door, a little bit more chance for those smaller schools, smaller market schools. So I can see it, but
so like this past season, Indiana got a break and they got in there because under normal circumstances
they wouldn't have made it.
And
then you see what happened, but you just leave the
thrashed.
We always like an upset somewhere, so that adds to the allure.
And adds a little more excitement, a little more spice to the proceedings.
More people watching.
But at the end of it, when it all comes down to it, most times you're going to get those blue bloods. You're going to get those teams that you expect to see there. Those are the ones that you're going to see. So
if they drop in millions on NIL, there's a good chance they're going to be there. They ain't spending that money for no reason.
Ohio State.
That's what I'm just saying. Insert Ohio State.
Insert Ohio State.
Like, man, they said, no, we're going to get this championship.
We're going to get this. All this money we spent.
What?
Yeah, we got a pro team right here.
Right.
We better win this. NBA playoffs, son. Moving on.
Woo,
the Eastern Conference finals will continue tonight.
Eastern Conference
finals will continue tonight. The Pacers are up 2-0 heading into tonight's game. In the Western Conference, Minnesota Timberwolves avoided going down 0-3, and they beat the brakes off of
they beat the brakes off of them.
143 to 101.
It wasn't even close.
That was the game that Minnesota needed.
Absolutely. They came out the gates hot. Of course, it makes sense. You can't go down 3-0-3, you know what I'm saying, against a team like that. So you had to come out. So I don't know if that's a little bit of, because OKC, the star players really did. SGA had like 14 points. Jalen Williams, I mean, it was like a low double-digit number, but the starters didn't really come out to play. Obviously, it almost looked like maybe they took a game off. Maybe
it's like they took a game off, and it also looked like Minnesota put the pedal to the metal, knowing that they couldn't go down 0-3.
Exactly,
and we're at home. If you lose that game on your home floor, and go down 0-3 on top of that, it's definitely a wrap. It's a little bit more of a series now. I still say, I think I said 7 games on the outside the NBA show.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that they won. I still think OKC is the better team, even if it goes 7 and they go back to Oklahoma to play that 7th game. I'm still picking OKC.
Yeah, I'm picking OKC.
Unless there's an injury. Now, if they got to play without SGA.
Barring no injury.
Right.
We can't foresee injury. So if an injury happens, knock on wood, to one of the main stars for either team, you can pretty much not.
It's almost a wrap.
Yeah, depending on who it is, it's damn near a wrap.
Mm-hmm. In the Eastern Conference, the Pacers are up 2-0 heading into tonight's game. As we mentioned earlier, it's all about Racers and Pacers in Indianapolis. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Knicks win this one just because they can't afford to go down 0-3.
No, so it's gonna be the same position. So it almost seems like if you're OKC, you're Indiana as a coach, are you being strategic? Just be like, hey, we'll come out, we'll play, or don't mention it, just see how we play anyway.
This game gets out of hand early, I'm okay with pulling my starters.
Right, we'll get you some rest type deal. So you almost play it strategically. This is a must-win game for New York, though. That's crazy.
Especially after game 2. Now,
ooh, especially after
game 1, that was lucky. In terms
you gave away that.
You gave that game away. But game 2, you didn't give that away. You got beat. Even though you had an opportunity late to get back in it.
It was
Indianapolis, to me, dominated from start to finish, even though the score might not have showed that they were dominating.
They had that game won.
Yeah. The fact that New York could never pull away, it was like they still had remnants of game 1 in the back of their minds, and so did Indiana, and they were like, okay, we're just going to keep pushing.
Keep playing our game. Eventually,
if it's close, we're just going to take it from you.
And then once they get like that, you can see when it starts happening. You know what I'm saying? They start hitting some threes. They start getting some stops. Okay, then they hit a 3. Pascal Siakam had a big game last game.
Siakam
that was
crazy.
That dude. Yeah. That was, and that's what they need. That's what you can't foresee. Someone who steps up like that and gets a 40 piece. It's like, oh, dang. And then you still
start to finish too. From the beginning of the game, he was clutch. He was not letting up on them whatsoever.
No, he came out.
He's like, okay, tonight's my night. I'm going to carry the team. Tyrese, you did your due. We had an unexpected showing in game 1 from Naismith.
Yeah,
we had the 6 3-pointers.
That was crazy.
Hey, you all just contribute tonight. But I'm gonna run the show. I'm gonna dominate. And I expect him to be that kind of player when they go home starting tonight.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna pick up and just take some of the pressure off of Halliburton. And then Halliburton picks his spots. He's a point guard by nature.
Yeah,
he likes to get everybody involved, and he even said that in the post-game interviews. My job is to get everybody involved, set the pace for the team, and then it's like Pascal was like, okay, I see what we're doing. I'm going to take the lead on this young buck.
Right.
I'm going to take the lead on this. I've got championship pedigree. I'm going to show you how to get this done.
How to win.
Yeah, I'm going to show you how to win. And then the role players that they had, that little Tyler, O'Connell.
TJ O'Connell.
Yep. That dude is rough.
He's like the spark.
He's the engine.
Yeah.
He's the Russell Westbrook.
I was just about to say
the East, but he hits his shots. So Russ.
And he might, and you might see him make like a little turnover now and then. But as far as like pace, running, communication, he's a veteran.
Passing, shooting.
He makes the right play.
He makes smart plays.
And he's just as important as a Tyrese Halliburton or a Pascal Siakam to the team as anyone. As far as just bringing that energy off the bench.
Instant energy, instant spark.
Because it's just like, okay, you think, okay, they got the backups in, and you're guarding him. He's running around like going crazy. You like, dang,
like a whirling dervish.
Yeah, so New York's gonna have to come out and win this game. Don't even make it close. Come out the gate strong, firing on all cylinders.
You got to dial up a Mississippi mud stomping on that ass. But or you're gonna be down 0-3.
It's almost like if Pacers don't come out. You said what?
No, I'm just laughing at you. Like, keep going. I'm sorry.
My bad.
I didn't say anything.
Did I keep repeating myself?
No. Keep going, son.
Oh, okay.
You good?
Oh, okay.
It was your expression. It was just like, if they don't do
right.
I already knew what you were about to say.
If they go down 0-3, because I can see Pacers going crazy. That's saying like,
that's why I was laughing, because I already knew what you were.
I can see Pacers being like, man, we're gonna get them down.
We can really put our foot on their necks.
Really get them, really get them out the way. So yeah, it's gonna be. It's a little different.
That's why I was laughing, because I knew, because I was thinking the same thing.
If
they let them get loose
tonight, it's a wrap. That them throwing that trash bag at that Indiana Pacers fan, that is karma.
Yes,
like,
it
to
is.
The T.
Yes,
and
it is.
Think about that. Oh man, don't let them get swept.
Really,
right? Don't let them get swept because that fan gets tickets to Game
Ooh.
4. Don't let them be in a position to sweep him. Man. Boy, he be woo.
But I think I heard a stat too. Not, I don't think I heard. I did hear a stat the other day that no home team has lost the first two at home won a series. Wow. In the conference finals.
Yeah.
That's just very unheard of.
You can't win at home.
I'm glad I went with my pick of the Pacers. I think I might have said 6. I've been saying the Pacers. I don't know if you remember, but this was in the middle of the season. It's obviously after the first of the year, but it was on one of our podcasts. It wasn't on outside the NBA, but it was on one of ours. I was saying, it was when we were doing the rankings. And I was saying, look out for Indiana. They're sneaky. They were sitting in that 4th spot, making a little noise, but not making too much.
Right.
They're a real deal team.
No, they are.
And we talked about Rick Carlisle, championship pedigree coach. And the thing I like, D, he runs 10, 11 players out there.
That's
He's
what
not
I'm
just
saying.
sticking to 5, 6, 7 players like Thibodeau for the Knicks. And they were eating him up, the press. Asked him a couple questions like, hey, are you running your team right? And he got pissed. Yeah, print what you want to print. View it how you want to view it. Man, I'm just asking you because it's obvious to everybody else. I didn't have to play the game to see that somebody's tired.
Right. And that makes sense why you're losing these games towards the end of the game because your players are now they're gassed. Yep. And they're still trying to keep up pace with these young, fresh legs. And Indiana's just, like you said, TJ O'Connell coming off the bench, and you got to guard him. You just got done guarding Tyrese Halliburton or whoever. Now you got to guard this fool. And if you let if you let him get 8 to 10 points off the bench, it's like, what are you doing? So it's just like you have to play defense on them. So it's just like, you're wearing your players thin to where towards the end of the game, you guys are making bad mistakes. You're not hitting shots because you're gassed. You don't have your legs under you.
There's no productivity.
You're in brain fall because you're tired. It's just like you're not getting your players rest so they can replenish and get back rejuvenated and have a little energy when they get off. They're
playing every other day now in the playoffs. So there's no rest in between. You're not going to really have any time for practice. We have a shoot around, and the next thing you know, we're back. We're to the grind.
And this is the playoff. You back? Oh, it's game 2 of the playoffs, the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's like, there's no fall off. You know what I'm saying? Because you still have to, like you said, you still got to prep, still got to get your ice bath, still got to get your workouts, still got to get your shots. So you're just constantly going. Your players are Them brothers is tired.
Man, them brothers are tired. Yeah, they might be professional athletes, but you can't get tired as a professional.
You're still
human. All right, so moving on to some postseason awards, as we predicted and as we thought. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, did bring home the MVP trophy. I thought that was nice touch where he gave all of his teammates
the whole team
and different prize gifts. I didn't see what was all in the gift bag, but I know they were all sporting those rollies. They were holding those arms up, and
all I care about the rollie. If you
he hooked them up. But somebody had some nice shoes in there too.
Yeah, I think he hooked them up.
Yeah,
he's
like that.
But he, as well, he should, because he said I wouldn't be where I'm at without y'all. Yeah, so that's what's up. Man, I wish I was on the team.
You and me both. The last player on the bench.
Man.
What was in the SGA gift? I'm trying to see if they got a list of what he gave away.
That's smooth, too. Like, dang.
And I know quarterbacks do that at Christmas. They buy their offensive linemen gifts. Running backs do it.
Yeah, it's not something.
Each valued at $10,000. The baskets included a Rolex watch, an iPhone, Beats by Dre headphones, and a Canada Goose jacket embroidered with the Thunder's 68-14 regular season record emblem. Man, but the Rollie by itself, that could be about $8,000.
Yeah, it could be
5 to 8. Yeah. I forgot which player that was. He said, "Man, I got the submarine one." I forgot, but he was pretty pleased with it. But I thought somebody had a pair of shoes in there. Maybe not. I might have seen that wrong. And then the other postseason awards: first team All NBA. Of course, you got your MVP on there. Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Bucks, Nikola Jokic from the Nuggets, guard Donovan Mitchell. He was the surprise. He was on the team 2022, 2023, but he did make the first team. And then, of course, Boston Celtics forward JT, Jason Tatum, was a unanimous pick as well.
Rest up, JT.
Yeah. Second team All NBA. I was wondering about this. Led by New York's guard Jalen Brunson, Golden State Warriors guard Stephen Curry, Minnesota Timberwolves guard Anthony Edwards, of course, LeBron James, LA Lakers forward, and then from the Cavaliers, you had Evan Mobley. So Cleveland had two players in the top 10, and then third team All NBA, Cade Cunningham from the Pistons, Tyrese Halliburton from the Pacers, James Harden for the Clippers. That was a surprise. Knicks center forward Karl Anthony Towns, and then for the Thunder, guard forward Jalen Williams. So those wrap up your first, second, and third team All NBA. Don't have a problem with any of those. I was thinking the way Steph played that second half of the season, he might sneak into the first team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it were me, and I might be prejudiced because he's one of my favorite players, but if you're asking me, would I rather have Steph over Donovan Mitchell, I'm taking Steph. But that's just my personal preference.
Yeah, I'm taking Steph.
Nobody else I could see
Donovan
kicking
Mitchell
out
did
of
have
that
a good
top
year.
5 because the first 4 were going back and forth for the MVP awards all season. So you could see them as far as Jason, Jokic, Giannis, and then SGA. But yeah, I can't complain about any of those. All very deserving.
Yeah, deserve. I guess it's just based off this year, how it played out.
Mm-hmm. I definitely kind of think I was going to LA. I guess maybe Kawhi didn't play enough games to qualify.
Nah,
you do have to play in at least 65 games.
They be low managing. That low management don't be working, obviously.
Say again, D.
Said that low management hasn't been working here lately.
No.
Maybe you should play more games.
Play more games. Get in better shape.
Because
Thibodeau, you might want to play your bench a little bit more.
Play more games. That low management hasn't been working here lately.
All right, so I got a topic for us. It's called I'm Totally Suffering.
I'm totally
and the question is, which fan base has suffered the most the last 25 plus years? And at first I had the Cowboys and the Knicks, but I went back after doing my research. The Cowboys did win in 96, but the Knicks haven't won a title since 73.
Ooh, starving.
And then I went back and started thinking, damn, Detroit, the Lions.
Yeah, Detroit
never won.
Never won.
They've made some inroads these last couple seasons and been more competitive.
Has Detroit Tigers won?
Yeah, the Tigers won, and I know they won in 60. Damn, if you're talking the last
didn't they recently won?
Plus years.
Or were they just in it?
They played the Cardinals in 2000. It was either 4 or 6. They lost to the Cardinals. The Tigers probably hadn't won one in quite a while. Now that you say that. Yeah, they might be suffering baseball and football.
Damn, yeah. They haven't.
Last I remember them when it was 68 when they beat the Cardinals.
Yeah. 68, then they won. I guess they won one in 84, but.
Oh, they did win that one. Yeah, they beat the Padres.
But they've been to the AL.
They've been to a couple.
Yeah, they've been to a couple.
Cardinals beat them last. I want to say that was 04 or
Detroit
06.
Starving. Yeah, Detroit starving
big time.
I'm gonna say my team to ATL. They thirsty.
Yeah.
Besides the Braves, the only thing we can really be excited about is the Bulldogs and the Braves. As far as here recently bringing some championships, Falcons, we thirsty to even just.
I didn't think about them, D.
Sniff the playoffs, and then the Hawks for sure. Really, the
Hawks
best
probably
chance.
hadn't won since they were here in St. Louis when they were the St. Louis Hawks. Before they moved to Atlanta.
Even gotten close. Even made it to the last time we went to the Eastern Conference Finals was in 21. when we faced Milwaukee, and we lost to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee won that year.
Damn.
But that was just like, we were just happy to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
here.
we was like, we was AM in the PM in the championship. Hey, we're happy to be here. Like, we were just happy to be here. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, we thirsty for something, some type of success.
Yeah, I guess I could have done it by city. You know what cities are most who suffer. I'm totally suffering.
I'm totally suffering. Suffering.
Damn. Yeah, I guess the Atlanta.
I said Atlanta
sports. They did when the Braves did win one in 2005. Or was that 95?
Oh, championship?
Yeah, it was 95, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was 94, 95.
Wow, yeah. Because they went back to back because they lost to the 21. Yankees in 96.
Right. Then we
you won one in 20.
Yeah, we just won one in 21.
So Atlanta's not starving that.
We're not starving.
badly.
Yeah, we won one in 21, and then like I said, the Bulldogs, we had the back-to-back national championships, so that kind of held us over.
The Giants hadn't won in some years. The Knicks hadn't won since 73.
Jets is starving.
Ooh, yeah.
Jets.
They hadn't won since 71, I want to say.
Like that Brooklyn Nets or the New Jersey Nets, Brooklyn Nets, that East Coast side, like New York. Really, New York.
Jersey. Who they lose to? They lost to
New York. Yeah, New York and New Jersey.
Yeah.
They starving.
They are. Yeah, that little area is
starving for something, some type.
Because besides the Yankees, Jets, the Giants haven't won recently.
Right, the Jets,
the
Giants. When they used to be the Nets, they weren't winning nothing.
The Yankees hadn't won since 2009. Yeah, I want to say it was that was 09 when they beat the Phillies.
Damn, they ain't won one since 9. They've been in it though. Yeah, they was been in it last year. Yeah, they've been there, but won.
Yeah, but actually won. The Mets haven't won since 86.
When's the last time the Mets won?
Yeah, I think it was 86. Wow. Well, there's definitely some franchises out there starving.
That's what I'm just saying. It's not
suffering.
Bro, there's some suffering franchises out here. The Bills.
Buffalo, man, they hadn't won.
They haven't won nothing.
They've never won
They've never won nothing. And then they went to, and you go to 4 straight and didn't get one of them.
Didn't get one.
That's you had 4 times.
I think the Cowboys beat you twice in that mix. If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. They're like, we'll beat
early
them again.
90s. Damn. Huh?
I was talking about the Cowboys. Oh, we got the Bills? We'll beat them again.
Right. Damn.
There's a lot of
cities out there and a lot of
suffering.
They're just suffering.
Because it's probably be easier to name the teams that are not suffering.
Yeah, you're right. Man, it's a lot of suffering.
It's hard out
totally
here.
Suffering.
Totally suffering.
Then my next one is YDY. Why? This question is Manny Pacquiao coming out of retirement at the age of 46.
Why?
What's the dude? You're in politics now.
He's just bored.
What are you doing?
He's bored. He ain't got nothing else to do. He probably works out. He probably still works out every day, and it's just like, I still got it. Who's you gonna?
No, you don't, man. If you get in there with these fighting Barrios,
he's trying to get somebody. He's trying to get another check.
I guess that maybe that political money's not enough.
Probably not enough.
Manny Pacquiao. He's a senator.
It's not enough.
Yeah, Mario Barrios.
Mario Barrios.
But what's that say about Barrios if you lose to a 46-year-old boxer who's been out of the game for a minute? What's that say about your skills and your abilities?
He gonna have to get around it there because
he might want to fight Jake Paul before you fight Manny Pacquiao.
That's what I'm saying. I thought he was gonna come out. Yeah, I guess he's trying to get to that bag.
What you doing, Manny? Why?
He still got that fighting spirit. It just never died.
I guess so. Drink a Modelo if you got that fighting spirit. If you just can't quench it.
Mike Tyson came out through retirement, but he came for them M's.
He came for them
20 plus then.
Guaranteed. And I wasn't going to get hit and I wasn't going to suffer in any kind of way. Yeah. All right, son. As we mentioned last week, this past week was a week of decision for the NFL owners. They did gather in Minneapolis. The tush push, they voted to keep it. Or let me say this.
Keep it.
They're going to keep it at least for one more season. They didn't have enough votes to get rid of it, but they're only 2 shy, D. So in 2025, we'll see the tush push.
On the tush push?
It's Roger Goodell doesn't like it. They say it's not a pleasing play, not pleasing to the eye. Come on, man.
Seriously. It's not pleasing to the eye.
They're just mad because one team has dominated with it. That's all it is. It's just hate. But they say that Roger Goodell cannot stand the play, and that this time next year it will be voted out. But for 2025, I'm happy that we will still have the tush push. They did say yes to flag football. NFL players will be eligible to try out and participate in the 2028 Olympics. So it's not a foregone conclusion that they'll actually make the team. And from what I understand, one player from each team will be allowed to actually try out and potentially participate. But then I went back and looked up.
How they go through that?
I don't know, but there's already an American Flag Football League. It has 4 teams. They've been playing since 2018. It was formed in 2016. They've been playing since 2018, but there's not currently a USA Olympic flag football team. Mm-hmm. But I would guess most of those players that are playing in that league, they're going to make the Olympic team. You might have maybe 1 or 2 players play in the Olympics, but I'm not seeing that there's going to be a whole lot of NFL players in it. Would you? Do you think it's...
I don't think it's gonna be like we're gonna have a whole team full of NFL players. You might get 1 or 2, and it might not even be the top players from the NFL.
It's not gonna be the top.
It's gonna be someone who's trying to get some more reps. And flag football is a little bit different. It's different moves and stuff like that. Yeah. These flag football players know little trinkets and tricks of how to do it. Now I can see like a Tyreek Hill playing flag football
because he's so really fast.
Super fast. If you get like a super fast, like what's Buddy from Kansas City?
Worthy.
Worthy. I can see Xavier Worthy real quick. Doesn't really know, but a lot of them, they be doing these little moves. I was watching the highlights, a lot of juke moves, twirls, because as far as the flags and doing the right timing and stuff like that. So it's a little different, but so I definitely can see someone.
Fred Warner, who just got that nice big contract.
I don't see Fred Warner, because when they do the flag football for the Pro Bowl, some of them, it's just like, okay, it's a little different.
It's a different game.
You gotta be. It's really about just shifting in your moves and your how you move. So I can see a couple playing, but like you said,
say the average at flag football player is like 6'1", 160 to 175.
Light,
not quick on your feet.
Right.
You got to have those twitch muscles.
Yep.
Working for you. But they did approve that players can try out and will be eligible again and can participate. But again, there's going to be more to it that they'll have to definitely adhere to. And then there was no vote to change the current playoff format, which I was happy about that. Leave things the way they are.
Just leave
NFL.
It happen, yeah.
No need to change.
No need to change.
All right.
No changes.
Keeping up with the Ursays. I know folks have heard of keeping up with the Kardashians. We're keeping up with the Ursays. So with the passing of owner Jim Irsay, it appears that his 3 daughters will take over the reins, and that they've already had a succession plan in place. It involves Carly Irsay Gordon, Casey Foyt, and Kaylin Jackson. All 3 of those are his daughters. They currently hold titles of vice chair / owner. Irsay had previously indicated that his daughters are on equal footing and will continue to be involved in the team's operations. One daughter will hold the principal owner vote, but that position is not fixed and could rotate. Right now, Irsay Gordon, who joined the Colts as vice president in 2008 and has been actively involved in the business side of the Colts, she's probably going to be the main person in control. Mm-hmm. She was in control of the business operations when he entered rehab back in 2014.
Damn.
Casey Foyt, she joined the Colts in 2007. She's been heavily involved in the team's marketing and community relations. And then Kaylin Jackson, she's been named as vice president, or she was named vice president in 2010. Her focus has largely been on the family's community and philanthropic efforts. So it's a joint effort, but they already have a plan in place. And I applaud. He didn't go outside the organization. He said that they were going to keep the team in the family.
Keep that money in the family.
Keep that money in perpetuity.
You're right, for sure. First of all, rest in peace to Jim Irsay. Rest in peace. Condolences to the family. They were planning for this and they were prepping for this, so it was good that they were already prepared. But you're never prepared when your parent goes like that, and then to jump in this, it's almost like bittersweet. You jump into the role,
exactly.
But it's just like it's the reason because your parent is gone. But the fact that they have a plan like that, the money's staying in the family. They said
obviously he groomed them correctly and properly too.
Absolutely. Prepared them for this type of business. So it's like, hey, if anything happened to me, we already got a plan set. We already know what roles are going to be met. You guys are going to have to step up to the plate. Having 3 daughters to do that too. And hopefully they're close and they can have that family bond and they keep that money. I can't hate, shoot. You know what I'm saying? We on the same wavelength. We try to keep it all in the family.
Exactly.
We try to get to where we just succession down the wealth. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. You can't hate on that, but
I love it. I love it.
It's great that they got a plan on it.
It's great they got a plan. Have a plan. I was very shocked by his passing. And I know he's had some trouble.
Only 65, right?
In the past, 65. Had different issues with drugs, but apparently he had been clean and sober for the last few years. I know he had some setbacks, but I think the hard living, the fast life, because Jim was out there for a while before he finally settled down. He lived a hard life. And sometimes that catches up to you. So
it looked like it too, because for 65, rest in peace. I'm not even talking about it, but
he looked old for his age.
He didn't really look too well as far as 65.
Right. No, you're right.
And got money, so it's like, okay, but rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Jim. Peace. I look forward to seeing those girls have success with running the team. So hats off to them.
Dang, so that goes back to the thing. So what do you say to Jonathan Taylor that went to the running?
Oh, basically told him
He said, what did he say? I forgot what he said.
Something about I'll be here long. I'll be here long after you're dead or something. Or karma's a bitch, ain't
it? Right.
Better watch what you say to folks.
I was like, be careful. He's like, man, hey.
He did say something reckless to him.
Right. Jonathan Taylor wanted to get more money. He's like, shoot, go out. I'm gonna be here. Whether I'm here.
Whether I'm here, whether you're here.
Right, or something like that. You still ain't gonna get paid. Oh my God. I gotta look at
D, that's that funny you brought that up.
Jonathan Taylor, like, I'm about to get my money now. Said we both gonna be gonna be long gone. You still ain't gonna. What did he say?
He did say it was reckless.
It was something along those lines, and I'm just thinking like Jonathan Taylor.
If I die tonight and Jonathan Taylor is out of the league, no one's gonna miss us. The league goes on. We know that. Yeah, he said that in 2023, July of 2023, when Jonathan was trying to get more money.
His bag.
And he held out and he did get more money. And Jim, you're not with us anymore.
Right. Be careful what you say.
Don't be reckless with those words.
You got to be careful what you say.
Oof. Yeah. Karma's a bitch.
Right.
Dang.
It's crazy.
All right, so moving on to the wild and the weird.
The wild and the weird.
Ooh, so we thought Martin took my mama's biscuits seriously, right?
Right.
This takes biscuits to a whole nother level.
Damn.
A Popeyes manager was accused of shooting his coworker over burnt biscuits last week.
Damn.
According to an affidavit from law enforcement in North Carolina. Rodney Wood, 22, was arrested and charged with attempted first-degree murder. The shooting happened at around 6 p.m. at the Popeyes on South Boulevard near Carolina Pavilion Drive. A witness who was a customer at the time of the shooting told police the altercation stemmed from an argument between Wood and another employee because of overcooked biscuits. The witness reported that both went outside after one challenged the other, which led to a physical fight. During the fight, Wood allegedly pulled a gun and fired 2 rounds. Court documents state that a video taken from the scene shows Wood discharging his firearm twice at point-blank range. Both shots hit Wood's coworker, one in the groin and the other in the chest. That employee was rushed to Atrium Health Maine in life-threatening condition with critical injuries. He underwent emergency surgery.
Damn.
That's taking biscuits to a whole new level.
I said, burn them biscuits again, bro.
I wish you would burn them biscuits again.
You messing up my reputation around here. They know when it's this time, I get fresh chicken. We get fresh biscuits. We want to do
with the honey.
With the honey. He said, bro, you going to get me fired up in here. Burn them biscuits again. See what happened. He said, man, them biscuits.
Biscuits, man.
Forget you and them biscuits. I don't need this. Hey, let's step outside. Nah, bro. One, that's you. Okay, you taking that too seriously.
Way too seriously.
Way too seriously. It's just biscuits.
It's biscuits, man. I can make another batch.
Bro,
it's only going to take 15 minutes.
This ain't your recipe. You don't own the Popeyes. You ready to put 2 caps in them.
You going to jail
over biscuits.
Over biscuits, man.
Come on now. We got to do better. you got to think, dog. Hey, burn them biscuits again, bro.
That's the 3rd time in a row you done burnt them damn biscuits.
Yeah. My biscuits was burnt. Can I get some more? This is the 3rd customer.
Seriously?
Came back. Oh, the biscuits again, was burnt, huh?
Man, I had to deal with this yesterday.
Man, that's
you burnt
crazy.
The biscuits.
You burnt the biscuits. Them some good biscuits.
Shot though.
Man, but
he must be underage because I noticed they never released the other person's name.
That's crazy.
What if you shot a 15-year-old or
over some biscuits?
16-year-old over some biscuits,
like 17,
right?
Not, 17, old 18, enough, but not like you ain't old. Like
I'm home from college. I'm working during the summer.
Type deal, like
hold up, man. I
ain't
didn't try to burn the biscuits. I mean,
they was fighting over the biscuits.
I mean, what you talking about? What we doing?
I'm trying to see what happened. As a manager or whatever, just show him how to make the biscuits properly, or take him off the biscuits and put someone else on the biscuits.
And you make the biscuits tonight.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Have him mop the floors. Then it's like, okay, since you can't handle that, you go mop the floors. I'll handle the biscuits.
Right.
But you gonna shoot the man? Stop. Burn them biscuits again. I got some hot biscuits for you.
Man.
That's crazy.
That's the wild.
That's the wild.
And the weird.
What state was that? What city was that?
Carolina. North Carolina.
Okay. It's crazy.
North Kakalaki.
It's going down.
It's going down over biscuits.
Serious. Over biscuits.
Love that chicken at Popeyes.
He said, love that chicken for Popeyes.
But not the biscuits.
Love that chicken for Popeyes. Yeah. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. That must be that excess.
That's that excess.
Man,
you know you can't beat us. Just join us. Just join us.
You can't beat
us. Ask the question. Make the phrase, if you can't beat them, join. We know you can't beat this. Just join us.
You can't beat this.
You can't beat this. Join us. We are powered by Excess. It's time for our juicy news. Because if you don't know, now you know.
Mm-hmm.
Young brother, young sister, young player, Dwight Howard, P. Diddy.
He don't know.
Porter family. Cheetah.
Okay, for that juicy news, because if you don't know, now you know. I guess we'll go ahead and dive a little bit into this Diddy story, this Diddy trial, because things have been,
man. It's so much.
It's so much, and a lot of it is a little too much, especially
not for safe ears. Yeah,
not for safe ears. That's especially the whole Cassie deal, the whole Cassie trial. We find out that he was using. So this Diddy case is really turned into sex trafficking and racketeering. That's what they're trying to get him on as far as criminal organization. The extra stuff like the baby oil, the freak offs, that's not necessarily can incriminate him, but it could lead to it led
contributes some kind of way
to the prostitution and some of the illegal things that he's being accused of allegedly. So this week, so recapping. Apparently, well, after the first week, we found out that Cassie was pretty much used as a prostitute or escort, as you would say. Man. To bring in high profile,
any kind of way,
bring high profile guests, and he would actually enjoy it by watching them partake into this. He would set it up, get cash money, and people just the freak offs was getting wild. They would have baby oil, little pool, little kiddie pools full of baby oil that they just dousing in, and it was real vulgar. Listener discretion advised. Like after they would partake, and I guess the gentleman would finish on Cassie, she would bring it to Diddy, and he would rub it on himself. So that's why we ain't really been going in deep, because there was just a lot of allegations, and this was wild. This all stuff was wild. She was with the current husband that she's with now. This is still partaking, and I guess he knew about it, but
he gives a whole new meaning to take that. Take that.
Okay, so this was the second week of. So they brought in Kid Cudi this week. Honestly, we could probably keep up saying which celebrities have come in each week to week, because this week you had rapper Kid Cudi as a witness, and then the singer Dawn Richard from his group Danity Kane. Yeah, pretty much. So I'll go into the Kid Cudi story. Kid Cudi was on trial basically during the time of, this was years ago. Apparently him and Cassie had a relationship. Apparently they were supposed to be broken up, but Diddy had found out, and it ultimately ended up with Kid Cudi's car getting set on fire.
They say he threatened to blow the car up, didn't he?
He threatened to blow the car up.
And this is Diddy did that, yeah.
This was Diddy, and he actually sent some people to meet Kid Cudi somewhere because he found out about the relationship. So, yeah, they're really trying to get him on racketeering, using his music industry and his mogul and turn it into a criminal organization. So, yeah, we're just going to keep up with some of the celebrities that go on week by week, the different stories. We'll just do the highlights and the segments because it's too much to just break down. There's so much information. This is over 25 years or more than that of just nastiness and
and the level of brainwashing that he had to do to her to make her continue to participate.
He always kept her drugged up with something. He was always telling her, smoke this, give her a pill. Mainly it was a lot of pills. That's what she was saying. Anytime they would go out, keep her in that pill, keep her in that state.
Kind of pretty much fog.
Keep her in that fog. She don't know what's going on, but the drugs is making her feel like vibrant or whatever. But yeah,
and
he was
freaky.
And freaky. The freak offs is what's crazy. And then Danity Kane, singer Dawn Richards tells about death threats.
That was the skinny one, right?
Yeah, that was the skinny one.
Yeah, I remember her, yeah.
I guess so. She found out about some of the stuff that was happening behind the scenes. Combs threatened her life after she saw him beat Cassie. And then tried to hit her with a skillet. This was back in 2009. Combs told her to keep quiet or you could go missing, pretty much. Like, okay, he got that power to get rid of you.
You'll never be found again.
Hey, damn, what happened to Dawn Richards? She used to put out music.
We're looking for her and some other players' careers.
But yeah, well, that's the juicy news for the Diddy trial. Man. We're going to over how this unfolds each week because there's so much information. It could be a whole podcast just on the trial itself. But we'll bring some highlights and we'll just bring out some celebrities
and lowlights as well.
And some celebrities of that week. But that's your juicy news, man.
All right, son. Good job. Time for our pops, flops, and props.
Pops, flops, and props.
Oh, those pops, flops, and props. Who you popping tonight?
Pops is going to go to the Indiana Pacers. I'm giving them credit right now, and they're up 2-0, but getting 2 games in an away game, and the fact that you battled back. You got another game 3 tonight at home, so you're setting yourself up in a good spot to get to the final. So yeah, my pops is going to the Indiana Pacers based on how they played in this NBA playoffs.
All right, my pops is going to go to the Florida Panthers taking a 3-0 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals, one game away from making their third straight trip to the Stanley Cup Finals.
It's crazy.
Yep. Who you flopping?
Flops is going to go to the New York Knicks for just going down 0-2, man. That's something you can't do. You don't even really want to split. You would like to get those games, but going down 0-2 at home, and then now you got to go to away game in Indiana. You're going to have to wake up. You're going to have to step up. You're going to have to close out. And man, you might have to you have to go do something. You're going to have to do something because it's
go
bad.
Back to coaching school. All right, mine's going to go to the Knicks as well for blowing a 9-point lead with less than a minute left in the game. That's a total flop.
That is a total flop.
Who you propping, son?
Props is going to go to the return of Ronald Acuna Jr., man. This is a spark that the Braves needed, especially come back homer in a couple games. So he's going to get the momentum going. And it's good to see when your leader is back out there on the field. It adds to the morale, it adds to the confidence, it adds to the belief. So big pops to Ronald Acuna Jr.'s return.
Please stay healthy, Ronald.
Please stay healthy. We need it.
Yeah. My props is going to Scotty Scheffler for winning his third major of his career last week. He did win the PGA Championship, blew him away, and I was happy for him. So nice job, Scotty Scheffler, winning that third major. All right, son, now it's time for us to tell someone to sit your ass down. Man, sit your ass down. Please. And thank you. Who you telling, son?
My sit your ass down is going to go to Tom Thibodeau. And you need to sit your ass down and make some adjustments and close out. I'm telling you that up 9 points with a minute left, that does come down to a little bit of coaching. You got to get the players ready. You got to call some timeouts. You got to make sure, tell them to eat up some clock, put up some plays to where you can at least eat away at some of that clock. If you can't stop them from scoring because Naismith was hot or whatever, you got to eat up some of this clock left. You're up 9 points. You can tell them to drive to the basket, try to get fouled, try to draw a foul, try to get to the free throw line. Do something to where you can manage the clock, eat up the clock, and you can still get some type of points to where you can at least walk away with a 1 to 2 point lead. Tom Thibodeau, you need to sit your ass down and get in the lab because you're about to lose this series. And don't let you go down 0-3.
Michael Malone, get your resume ready. He already was on ESPN the other night. Yeah. All right, so it's a good one. This is kind of a bittersweet one. It goes to Tony Reali and ESPN's Around the Horn. It aired its last show this past Friday after 23 years, D. ESPN canceled the show.
That's crazy.
Not sure why it's been canceled, but it's one of the best debate sports shows ever. For those who don't know about it, the premise is you would have 4 journalists from around the country, and they would come on and they would debate the topics of the day. And obviously, the way he would do it is he would give, for each topic, he would give you points.
Right.
Or if you messed up or the take was weak, he'd take away points. Or if you talk too much or the take was weak or lousy, he might mute you. But each day it would be different and his scoring would be different based on how Tony felt. But the main thing is they talk sports every day. 4,953 episodes, man.
Wow. That's
as
crazy.
He said, 23 years, 23 is a goated number. And I'm sad to see it go.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's a great show. The premise was great. And like you said, you have 4 different viewpoints from different sports journalists from around the country. And most of those journalists are still actively writing to this day. So it's not like they're just sitting back and talking old school stuff. No, they're still actively in their careers. And you got people like Bob Ryan, Woody Page, people been around for years, Bill Plaschke, Jackie McMullen. That's just the name of very few who participated. But man, I'm proud of what he did. And Tony, it's time for you to sit your ass down, man. I wish you didn't have to, but obviously ESPN is making you, which that tells me about the leadership over there right now, because I don't even understand why would you get rid of such a great show and the ratings weren't down. That's the thing. rating. Maybe that's what I need to do. Tell the people who canceled the show, sit their asses down. There we go. I just switched it up. The people who canceled that, whoever was involved in canceling a great show, a winning product, sit your asses down. There we go. All right, son. I just had to talk it through.
Right. He's like, hold on, wait, yeah.
Hold up,
that's who really needs to sit their ass down.
Needs to sit that ass down. Ooh, man, we chopped up a lot, son.
We did.
Another great episode. Thanks for the product and the participation.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the product is this. The participation is us.
Absolutely.
And we couldn't do it without you all, the listeners and the viewers. We thank you all so much for watching and listening to the Me and D
Pops and Son
podcast.
For that ass.
For that ass.
For that ass. No Diddy.
No Diddy, please.
No doubt.
No doubt. D, tell him.
Shoot. But until next time, I'ma holla at you.